Hey guys, what's up? I am back with another interesting video. So in this video, we will be doing the speed test comparison between the iPhone XR versus the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II, and this phone is powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 SoC with 8GB of RAM, while the iPhone XR is powered by Apple A12 Bionic SoC with 3GB of RAM. So on the back, we have a single camera on the iPhone XR versus a triple cameras on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. And iPhone has a 12 megapixel f1.8 aperture with optical image stabilization main camera, while on the other hand, and Sony has a 12 megapixel f1.7 aperture with optical image stabilization main camera. Also, we have 12 megapixel ultra wide and a 12 megapixel telephoto lens, which give you a 3x optical zoom with OIS. And the back on both phones is made up of glass. We have dual ion glass on the iPhone XR versus a Coring Gorilla Glass 6 on the Sony Xperia, and the frame on both phones is made up of aluminium. On the side, we have a fingerprint scanner inside the power button on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II versus a Face ID on the iPhone XR. So I am very excited to see that how this iPhone XR is gonna stack up against the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. And after a long time, we have a Sony phone on the channel. So without any wasting time, so now let's quickly boot both of these phones up at the same time. Let's see which one is faster when it comes of booting up speed. So the logos came up first on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II, and iPhone is running on iOS 16.4.1 while Sony is running on Android 11. I don't see the Android 12 update on this phone, and every single time when we boot up the phone, we see this screen on the Sony Xperia. So iPhone is a tiny bit faster when it comes to booting up, but we only have 1.5 second difference between these two devices. So guys, everything's closed up in the background, no application is running in the background. Also, we have same Wi-Fi network on both phones, and the first application we have is the phone dialer that is faster on the Sony Xperia. So next on the list is the settings, and now let's open at the same time, and Sony is a tiny bit faster. The iPhone XR has a 6.1-inch 720p plus liquid retina IPS LCD display with 60Hz refresh rate, while Sony has a 6.5-inch almost 4K OLED 1 billion colors 120Hz refresh rate display. So this phone feels very narrow in the hand, also much lighter as compared to the iPhone XR. And iPhone XR has a, and also you can see iPhone XR has a notch on the top, which you don't find on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. Now let's open Amazon shopping, and that is faster on the Sony Xperia, as you can see. So now let's see scrolling, and that is feels much smoother on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II, while iPhone it is feels outdated because 120Hz is makes everything much smoother as compared to normal phone. So now let's open that again, slightly faster on the Sony Xperia. So now check out some games application, and this is where we should see a difference between Apple A12 versus Snapdragon 865. So now let's see Candy Crush Saga on both phones. First game app, and Sony Xperia 1 Mark II faster there, as you can see. So now let's open Instagram, and that one faster on the Sony again. Now let's spin out, and that one faster, as you can see, on the Sony. Snapchat again much faster on the Sony. Spotify faster on the Sony. Subway Surfer, as you can see, Apple A12 and the Snapdragon 865. As you can see, in every single app the Sony it is faster. But anyways, now let's see Temple 2, and let's see in that game which one is faster. And Sony Xperia 1 Mark II is beat the iPhone XR, and I am facing little issue on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. You can see it does not downloading the game. So anyways, now let's leave that in the background, and now let's open this big game which is called as PUBG Mobile. Apple A12, which is a 4 generation old SoC versus a 3 generation I think on the Sony. So Sony is slightly faster, as you can see. So this time we have a 2-second difference. Also in that game we have smooth graphics with extreme frame rate on both phones, and the gaming experience I feel it is better on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II because we have high refresh rate display. Now let's opening up the Twitter, and that one faster on the Sony again. Now let's open Zedge, and that one faster as you can see on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. And iPhone always load this app very slow as compared to Android phones, and now iPhone it is also done as well. So now let's see scrolling, and scrolling it is much smoother on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II as you can see. So last I'm launching the cameras on both phones, default camera application. So iPhone XR is faster as you can see as compared to the Sony. So now let's look at the front facing camera. You can see in the front facing camera it is miles better on the iPhone XR. Also you know the video performance on iPhones always much optimized, much better as compared to Android phones. Okay guys, now let's see internet browsing speed. So I am seeing for internet browser on the iPhone XR versus a Chrome on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. So now let's open this Samsung.com, and that one it is faster on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. iPhone is still loading. I don't know why, but you can see iPhone is still loading. So now iPhone it is also done. So now let's see scrolling, and in that area again Sony Xperia 1 Mark II feels much smoother as compared to the iPhone XR. Next on the list is a Sony.com. Let's see which one is faster in that website, and Sony is taking the lead, and iPhone is still loading, and iPhone it is very slow this time. Again we have same Wi-Fi network on both phones. I don't know why iPhone is taking a lot of time, but iPhone it is also done. Scrolling again much smoother on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. So now check out RAM management. So iPhone XR has a 3 GB of RAM, while Sony Xperia 1 Mark II has a 8 GB of RAM. Again this phone is running on Android 11. Phone dialer still there. Let's see settings, still there. Amazon shopping, that got refresh on the iPhone, but it is an in-app refresh only. Let's see Candy Crush Saga, refresh on the iPhone XR. Instagram still there. Let's see pin out, Snapchat, Spotify, and now let's see Subway Surfer. Now let's see Temper and 2, still there in the memory. Let's see PUBG Mobile, still there. Now let's opening up the Twitter, still there in the memory. Zedge. Last we're back to the internet browser where we left as you can see. And guys, over up to say regarding the apps opening speed. As you can see that in the iPhone XR and the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II, we have big difference between these two devices almost in every single application. In system-based apps, mostly in games, we have a 2 or 3 second difference between these two devices. So in terms of the RAM wise in that area, and iPhone XR does not perform excellent in the RAM management, while Sony Xperia 1 Mark II is perform excellent in the RAM management. Not a single refresh on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you like this video. So do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe to my channel for daily tech videos like this, and follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well. And I will see you in my next video. Peace out.